Welcome back to another episode of All Things Everything presented by Gulf Coast Smoke. My name is Alonzo.
And I'm Sabrina.
And today, I don't even know what I was going to say. I was thinking about what I was going to say. So you know what really freaked me out is you texted me as I started saying that.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw out of the corner of my eye, Sabrina texted me. Why would Sabrina text me?
Yeah.
I'm literally sitting.
My little notes.
I'm sitting 2 feet from her. So I that confused me a little bit. I'm sorry. How is your week going so far? Today is Wednesday. How's your Wednesday so far?
Shoot. Well.
Horrible. Yeah. The worst. Tell them why. Tell them why. Tell them.
So the internet was out all day.
It's probably still. Oh, man, dude. You know what's weird is you know what? I'm going to just say this real quick. What's weird is for whatever reason, Sabrina and I have owned our house for 8 years or 9.
No, 8. It's 8.
Okay. So 8 years as of like days, couple of days.
Yeah.
So we've been in our house for 8 years, and I'm not exaggerating. For 8 straight years, we have had the worst internet problems that I feel a human family could have. Like, so we used to have one company. We're not going to name companies because we used to have one company, and I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that the internet was so intermittent, it would go out quite literally every 45 seconds, 2 minutes sometimes. Or
like we'd watch a show and it would constantly be buffering.
Yeah, it'd be constantly buffering. It'd stop, it'd start, it'd stop, it'd start. So I'm an IT guy for my day job, right? So I get these things pretty darn well, okay? And I don't like to bring that up, but we had so many people come out and they're like, "Oh, it's your router, it's your router, it's your router." I'm like, "Okay, bro, you know what? I'll go buy a router right now. You stay here. If it doesn't work with this router, you'll reimburse me on my like." They even
the one guy came over to check something, and he's like, hold on, my manager's in the area. He's gonna come talk to me. I'm like, okay, and then he
literally went outside and just took off.
I was like, yeah, just let me know what he says, and they both took off.
They just took off. They were probably like, man, dude, you can't make these people happy. But I'm telling you, it was truly that bad. It was truly that bad. Finally, another service provider came into town. And you know what? When it works really, really, really well. Which it's like we kind of need it because it has a really good upload speed. So we have a gig speed. So we have like 1,000 down, 1,000 up. When you're uploading videos, you need high upload speeds. We have 1,000. So that's a gig. And it works really well. But we probably have service interruption, I don't know, once, twice a month. And it's like for 48 straight hours where we have just zero internet. Thankfully, we have the office where we can come and work if we need to. But still, it's like I really, truly feel like we have had nothing but internet issues for the 8 years that we have lived at our home. Maybe it's time for a new house. I don't know.
Yeah, right. It'll follow us wherever we go. Well, and then like the kids, of course, since we homeschool, we do a mixture of like written curriculum and online curriculum. So then it's like, oh, the internet's out. Yay. I'm like, no, we still got to do stuff. But then it's like, normally on a Wednesday, I'd be finishing up a video, but we didn't have a video for this week. So I didn't really have anything to edit, but there was still stuff we were doing at the house. And it's like, dang, the internet's out. And then just knowing that it's because it's out all day when this happens.
Yeah.
Knowing that when we leave this podcast we go home, we're not going to be able to watch anything.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to watch Black Clover.
Yeah.
We're not going to be able to do anything. So we've been really into, we've talked about anime on the podcast before, but we've been really into Black Clover. It is just an incredible, really, really good anime. So we've been watching, Kaiju number 8, season 2 just finished, which was a really, really great season. It wasn't as good as season 1, but it was still good. But I'm not going to say that it was as good as season 1 because it was not. We just finished up season 1 of Sakamoto Days, which that is probably one of the best animes that I've ever seen.
It's really good.
I'm just being honest.
That one's on Netflix. So
that was on Netflix. If you guys are into anime at all, try it. Truly an incredible anime. The Demon Slayer movie recently came out, which was really cool. We got to watch that with the kids. And now we're watching Black Clover, which is about 170 episodes-ish. And we're on like 105, 106, something like that.
Something like that.
So we're getting towards the end of it, but Man, it's a lot of fun to watch, and we only watch episodes with the kids. Sometimes they fall asleep, sometimes they miss a little bit here and there, but we watch them as a family. So it's a really cool thing for us to be able to do.
Yeah,
but
like
we need
after
internet.
hours, yeah. So
we need internet to do that. So it makes it really hard, but either way, the Wednesday has not been the best at the house because there's no internet. But other than that, how's your week been?
Oh, it's been a good week. Just we had a really eventful weekend, but there's nothing like being home. So we're really excited to be back home. The kids and I busted out all of our fall decorations, so we've been decorating all week. So it's just been a really, really nice, kind of relaxing week, trying to get back into the groove of things after being out of town.
Yeah, and it's so hard, right? So right before this podcast, well, I literally got out of work, came straight here. Within 5 minutes, I'm trying to write a script, and I'm doing voiceovers, I'm posting videos, and it's crazy. I talked to somebody today, and I was telling them, I'm like, outside of here, I just feel like even if I'm not trying to stay busy, I'm busy.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great thing. I really, truly do. I feel like we always got something going on, but at the same time, we do it together. And we've talked about this on the podcast. We do it together. We got the kids sitting over here a few feet from us, and it's I'm sure it's not easy for them to sit there and just be quiet for a full hour while we're doing this, but
I'm sure they're happy they can actually watch their tablets now.
Yeah, but at the same time also, I made a Facebook post about this the other day, and I kind of wanted to bring it up in the podcast because maybe not everybody has me as a personal friend on Facebook because I put it on my personal Facebook page. It's like Sabrina and I so this past weekend we went to Mississippi, and we were hanging out with Malcolm, Rochelle Reed, some other ambassadors, Tyler, Jacob, Austin, the crew, Todd, just really, really Mikey, really, really great people. And it's so amazing to have gotten to a point where we are affiliated with a powerhouse in this industry, a powerhouse. And when I say powerhouse, I truly mean that. I don't think a lot of you guys would even understand, and that's not, I'm not saying that in a negative way, but I don't think you guys would understand like how well they're doing. But when you go over there, when you see them in person, when you see what's going on, when you see how many employees they have, it's different. They move differently. And it is so amazing to have friends like that in the industry that can show you the way, even without telling you the way. They kind of show you what they're doing, right? They have you as an ambassador. They give you the knowledge. They give you resources. You can use those resources, and it's just really incredible. That being said, we left on Wednesday. We went to Dallas. We did try to, spend a little bit of time together as a family because we knew it was going to be a little bit of a hectic weekend. Had a great dinner. We got Terry Black's. I don't care what anyone in the world says. Terry Black's is beyond fire.
Well, and so we got Terry Black's delivered.
We got Terry Black's Uber Eats because we drove from our house to Dallas, which is about 6.5 hours. And we were just tired. Honestly, we were just tired. We had stayed up late the night before trying to pack and get ready to go. And, just a lot going on. So we were tired. We Uber Eats'd it. We knew that we were going to be risking it, but it hit just as hard as it did when we were in the restaurant. Straight up. Terry Black's is easily one of my favorite barbecue joints that I've ever had. And that's no exaggeration.
Yeah.
Everybody might not feel that way about it, but downtown Dallas, Terry Black's is straight gas. Straight gas. So we did plan on going to Hurtado's. Unfortunately, we were just too tired, and we're just like, man, let's just. And I did try to see if Hurtado's did Uber Eats, and they don't. But it is what it is. We will go back, and I do want to go to Hurtado's because I've seen so many good things about them. They have a really unique menu, and I am sad that we didn't get to go experience that. But it is what it is. So we did try and spend some time as a family. We ordered Tiff's treats. I ordered 24 cookies. I ordered 3 pints of ice cream. Which wasn't enough, right? I ordered 3 pints of ice cream, and I just kind of wanted to, spend some family time with everybody. And we did. We had a good night, and then we woke up, and we took off, and we drove straight to Pearl, Mississippi. So in Pearl, Mississippi, we were meeting with our co-packer for our glazes. We got to see their facility. We got to see their assembly line. We got to meet everybody. We got to meet the founder. We got to meet the person that actually runs the Pearl, Mississippi branch. We got to meet the director of research and development. We got to meet our sales guy. We got to meet Laura, who is an incredible lady.
Yeah.
I don't know what her exact role is there, but I know she's detrimental to what they do. And we'll talk about that a little bit. but it is just such a, I mean, it's a blessing to be able to even go and show up and do these things and know that we are going to release more products. I'm pushing for them to be released this year. Well, we're going to start with the cherry pineapple, and we're going to let the cherry pineapple kind of run its course a little bit, and then we're going to release our apple glaze, okay? So that's the way that Sabrina and I decided that we wanted to do these products and put them out there on the market. So we're working hard. I promise you we're trying everything we can to get cherry pineapple in the market this year. So we're doing our best, but they were incredible people. We'll talk a little bit about Laura, but what was your experience from your point of view, like meeting these people, seeing where our products are going to be made? And you could talk about what else did we look at? What else did we do while we were there? Because we were not just there to talk about glazes.
Yeah, so, they showed us, when I think about, like, Texas, right, that's part of our thing, and, part of our line of seasoning is, like, when you think of South Texas and Texas in general, you think of, like, Southern hospitality, right?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you something, in Mississippi in general, so many people display so much hospitality, right?
Sure.
So upon coming in, they knew, we were going to have the kids with us. So they had coloring books ready for the kids with colors. They had drinks, snacks. Miss Laura made some chicken nuggets that were incredible.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying their best to make sure that we were all comfortable, which they didn't even have to do.
They did not have to do that. And what's crazy is Pat texted me the night before, and he said, hey, do any of you guys have any food allergens?
Mm-hmm.
And I quite literally texted him back, and then he asked about the kids too, and I said, Pat, please don't worry about the kids. I know you're going to, but please don't. They're going to be okay. Man, they had M&Ms, they had chips, they had drinks, they had lemonade, they had everything ready for the kids just because they knew mom and dad had some work to do.
And so much hospitality from everybody. So that was really, really cool. And for that being your first impression of meeting a whole group of people in a whole company, that meant a lot to me.
For sure.
So, yeah. And
it made it to where we feel so confident in the partner that we have chosen moving forward to help us build the product that we truly feel is incredible. Number one, we think it tastes incredible. We think the viscosity is perfect. And it's also weird. I've been kind of seeing something about viscosity when it comes to the So Smokin' Gooder show. I'm not sure what that is, but anyway, like the way that it pours out of the bottle is incredible. The flavor is incredible. The color is incredible. So it's a glaze, right? So you want it as light as possible. You want it as clear as possible, but while having that nice color, right? A little bit of that red tint, that yellow tint for the cherry pineapple, and then also the apple. So I'm just so happy with the product. I'm so happy how we were able to bring it to life because, we've talked about this a little bit, but Sabrina and I have our recipe. I don't know how many different pages on a book we wrote. Oh, well, we heated it up for this long. We took it to this temperature. We tried this much pectin. We did this product. We tried this fruit. We tried that fresh fruit. We tried this nectar. Just so many things that we did. That being said, we did have to take some professional advice from these people. And that's where we're kind of going to go into what Miss Laura does a little bit, right? She didn't help us with our glazes, but after we decided that we felt really confident with these people, and even before we met them, we started talking to them about our new seasonings that we plan on coming out with, right? And so for everybody that's listening, I did post those, and I had somebody ask, what are those? So I figured we'd take a little bit of time and talk about them in the podcast, but the new seasonings that Sabrina and I are working on are something that we like to call pantry essentials, right? That name might change, but right now we're calling them pantry essentials. Essentially, we want you to be able to grab one of our seasonings any day of the week and use it on your food. And that is the goal. We talked about this, I believe, in the last episode or the episode before. We were talking about different brands and how I guarantee you they all want to build a company where they have every type of seasoning if possible. And that's exactly what we want as well. So talk to the people a little bit about the flavors that we're going for, and then we'll back up a little bit and talk about how did we develop these products, or how did we put our trust in somebody like a Miss Laura?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've kind of mentioned some of the products that we've been trying to come out with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say exactly what they are, just so it's, kind of a little bit of a surprise for you guys when they're released.
Sure.
But our thought process was we want seasoning blends that are going to be good for everyday cooks in the kitchen, right? Now, we use everything, like we use barbecue stuff in the kitchen stuff
yeah,
outside.
Like last night you made cauliflower rice and you throw Southern Belle all over it. And to me, that's the only way we'll ever cook it. It doesn't matter if we have 50 million different seasonings. It's always got to have the Southern Belle.
Right. But, for consumers, they really like to see tailored things if they look at it, they know, okay, this is what I'm going to do on my chicken. This is exactly what I'm going to put on my fish every time. This is exactly what I'm going to put on my pork every time. So people like to see exactly what they want in one place in their pantry, right? So there's some blends that, yes, we have mentioned what we are trying to make. The hard part is not every co-packer is going to have specific flavors that you want.
Yep.
There are flavors that only specific co-packers are going to be able to access.
Yeah.
And so we're also very limited because when you try to make something at home with like ingredients from the grocery store, it's not going to be exactly the same as what your co-packer is using.
Exactly. I'm glad you brought that up because that is something that I wanted to stress to people. So not to cut Sabrina off. So, one of the flavors, well, I'll say one of them just because I feel like everybody knows we're working on a lemon pepper type seasoning. We were literally, I'm not exaggerating, zesting a lemon pepper. Right. We were dehydrating it, and then we were adding salt, pepper, garlic, blah, 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 whatever. And we couldn't recreate that flavor because no co-packer does that.
Yeah, they're not going to be
They're not going to zest a lemon, smoke it to get a smoked flavor, and then put it into a lemon pepper seasoning. So our lemon pepper seasoning is we seeked a little bit of professional help, right? So what we did was we reached out and we said, hey, look, this is our recipe. With what you have, how can we do this? Right? So we just did, again, I mentioned it earlier, a little bit of research and development. Now, the cool thing about it is, and Sabrina and I, we take major pride in coming up with all these seasonings ourselves, right? Trying to put them together, doing our due diligence, and we're still going to continue to do that. But the truth is, we also, at times, have gotten to a stopping point where it's like, okay, we've done all these things, right? We're buying, at one point, we were buying bags of seasoning from Amazon to try and figure it out, or we were going to our local HEB and buying the big pepper, buying the big garlic, buying the big paprika. But, it's so hard sometimes because it's like, okay, the paprika I'm using isn't even the same one that they have over there. Right. It's sourced from a completely different area. And so I'm going to let Sabrina finish it up, but I do want to let you guys know that, man, if you are trying to build a seasoning at your house, you should do that because that's a great foundation. That's a great base. And you can always go off of your original seasoning. I almost guarantee you're going to have to tweak it a little bit somewhere. Right. And that's exactly where Sabrina and I fell. And we were like, okay, let's look for some professional help here. We want these seasonings to be really, really good. And we have this base. We have this recipe that's really good, but nobody offers this. Right. What can we do to make this what we want?
Well, and it's the same thing as when you do have a recipe and you give it to a co-packer, they're going to make the blend as per your recipe, but they're going to send it back to you and it might not taste the same. So it
almost never does.
Yeah, so they're going to have to change increments of things. So it's not ever going to be exactly the recipe that you have written down because what they give you isn't, like you said, it almost never tastes the same. So they have to do some tweaking to make it taste like the recipe you have, right? And
when we first went to a co-packer, it probably took 10 tries for us to be like, okay, that finally tastes like our rub.
Yeah.
Really, truly, it took at least 10 because you can ask Sabrina, I am a major perfectionist. there's been times when I see like specks of some stuff in our bottle, and I'll call the co-packer and be like, hey, this ain't right.
Right.
Like it's not, this is our product.
Yeah.
This is our product. This is our brand. And I won't stamp it unless I feel very comfortable. And that's just always the way I'm going to be.
Yeah. Now, so the interesting thing with food, and you think about like food service, the food service industry, every aspect of food is so different. I mean, we do YouTube and barbecue competitions. Those are two separate things.
Yeah.
You have people that own restaurants, another separate thing. There's so many categories of food, right? And it's so interesting to go into a place like that and meet the research and development team and see how they're using science with food.
Yeah.
It's such an interesting thing because, one of the things we've talked about many times is like, I'm pretty picky about seasonings when I'm like, okay, I don't know what any of this says. But through a little bit of, learning through them, you learn like butter, for example. Well, there's going to be all these types of butter, and each one's going to make a difference on what it says on your label.
Yeah.
But each type is different. So that's, we were trying to use like powdered butter for a certain seasoning that we were working on. And it's like, okay,
that doesn't work.
This does not taste good, right? But we don't know that there's different levels of it, right?
Yeah.
So it's really, really cool to go into that environment and really learn, kind of what they're doing, right? It's not just, let me make something that tastes good.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot more of like science that's added to it, right?
100%.
So that's a really cool thing about Laura. You can tell she's not only a good cook, but she's also extremely knowledgeable.
Yeah.
As were all the other people in the research and development team. And so one of the things that Laura did for us is she got her sample blends made.
Mm-hmm.
Before we got there, she marinated some meats with it.
Yeah.
And they have like a little test kitchen, and she was able to, cook all these samples with the products for us and have us taste it right then and there.
Yeah,
which
incredible.
was such an incredible thing.
Yeah.
And kind of like you said, you're very particular about the products, which as we should be, right?
Well, I think you might be more than me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
And that's the point I'm getting to.
Yeah. People really don't know that because, I'll tell people things about you and they're like, not Sabrina, she's quiet. I'm like, yeah, you just don't know her. And I'm not trying to be rude about that. I'm like, you just don't know Sabrina.
Right.
Like, you don't know that she has a very fiery side to her, and she's very particular about these things. Like,
right.
It's just one of those things that you're not for it. You're not for certain things. We have to do things a certain way, and you've always kind of held us accountable, not me, but us as a company accountable for some of the way. Like, there's been times when I've suggested things, and they're not even bad things, but you're like, no, we're not going to do it that way. We'll do it this way. Like, okay, and it really is one of those things where it's like having somebody like that actually cares that much. Man, it is good because you don't want to take the easy or lazy way out ever.
Well, I mean, I won't say I put my foot down or anything with things, but I'm very cautious, I guess, is the way I would put it. So for me, it's like going into that, and you have people helping you put a blend together. It's like, okay, well, I don't know these people. I know us. I know what we can do in our kitchen, but I don't know these people. So, I don't really know what to expect, right?
Yeah.
Which, as I said, upon walking in, just the hospitality, I was like,
yeah,
you could give me anything right now and I'd be happy, right? But so with these samples that Laura made, it was amazing. And it was such a cool thing to, when you're working on a product and you see the people that are, because even right now with all of our products, there's a co-packer that has employees that is putting these products together, and even, yes, it's our recipes, but that doesn't happen without the people who are working and doing that stuff, right? So
yeah, and it's one of those things where you really have to understand that too, right? I think it's important to understand that you are putting a product out there. It is your recipe, but you need good partners in order to make that a thing. Right.
So it's really cool to see that all these people really care about what they're doing. So that was just a really unique experience for us. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved the whole tour of the place. And it's just, I like when co-packers invite you in to do that, because it's like, you don't,
hey, we're not hiding anything. We'll show you everything.
Right.
And you can see exactly what we do on a day-to-day basis, and we want you to feel comfortable.
Yeah, and it makes us comfortable to go to our customers and say, hey, we know that A, B, and C is happening, and then S, J, K, whatever is not happening.
Yeah.
So really cool experience going in and seeing all that.
Yeah, and part of the reason that I even brought it up in the beginning, if you guys remember, was I was talking about the kids and, just the attitude that they have, and that, well, really no attitude, right? They're just so open, and they're like, okay, whatever mom and dad want to do. They're so incredible, and they're just such good kids. And the fact that we get to do these things together as a family is truly something that I will remember for the rest of my life. I promise you that much, because it's like, man, the first time we met our co-packers, the first time we saw our glazes in a facility, like, my kids were with me. My wife was with me,
right?
And it's not something that I went and did alone. And I don't ever want it to be like that. I understand that there's probably going to be a point in our lives where it's like, okay, well, we can't all go to Corpus for, dad to go sign a piece of paper for whatever. I don't know.
Well, even for example, for the weekend going to the Smokehouse Social, that's not really a kid-friendly environment.
No,
so that's but we still had a family experience, if that makes any sense. You could have easily just gone by yourself.
Yeah. I mean, we discussed it. And I mean, it's not that I wanted to. I tell Sabrina all the time, I'm like, I don't want to go without you. I really don't. Like, but if you don't feel like it's worth it, I will, because there are some things that as somebody who feels like this brand is ours, not mine, I don't feel right doing things without you. But I also understand that, like, for example, it's just not, it's just the way that we've set up the company, right? Like we've talked about this before. This is the way that we've set up the company. You edit, you do everything behind closed doors, right? I'm the face. We understand that, okay? We're not trying to make me a face, as in like a polarizing person. That's just what it is. Right. But this is 100% our company, right? So, like, if we are going to go to the co-packer, I even texted you, I was like, hey, they want to meet. Do you want to meet? Yes. Okay. So we took an extra day. We went out of our way. We went and visited them, and we did our thing. And I think it was really, really important. I really think it was really eye-opening for us to do that. And, just again, shout out to our kids. Like, if they ever, I don't know if they ever will, if they'll ever go back and watch or listen to any of this, but, like, at the age of 9, 7, and 6, we just have the most incredible kids who understand that mom and dad are truly just trying to do something special here.
Well, I feel like they're also getting, it's kind of like going to work with your parents, right? But I feel like they're getting a very unique experience as a kid, right?
Whether this works out or not, I promise you, we've done some really cool, crazy things with our kids. For sure. And that's kind of one of the things that, Sabrina and I were talking about. We're really blessed for this life. I'm not saying we've done anything crazy. I'm just saying we're blessed to be where we're at. And we always will be very, very grateful for everybody that's listening right now, and for everybody that's allowed us to grow to this point. Because even without anybody listening, even if it's only 5 of you listening, and you've helped us get to this point.
Right.
So we are very grateful. Now, we went to the co-packer. We had a really great meeting, but we were on our way towards South Haven, Mississippi. Why were we on our way there? You kind of mentioned it already, but.
Right. So we are a HowToBBQRight ambassador, right? So every year they have a little get-together, the Smokehouse Social, for all the ambassadors. Now, I will say I really, really like Mississippi and the Memphis area. Yeah. Because like I said, this wasn't something that I was going to be participating in. Me and the kids were going to go do our own thing. And man, I just really like, the really cool thing about that area is I like how all it takes is some driving and you can get to so many places.
Yeah.
Like when you're in Texas, you're just still driving through Texas for the longest time.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of different types of restaurants. There's so much to do. That area is very beautiful to me. It's brick buildings everywhere. So like Hernando, South Haven, into Memphis. It's all really pretty to me.
Yeah.
We had this place called Brother Juniper's.
Dude,
for breakfast. Oh my gosh, they had these.
That was in Memphis.
Yeah, that was in Memphis, and they had these cinnamon roll pancakes that were just
incredible.
Amazing.
For sure.
Some of the best breakfast we've ever had. So I always enjoy going to that area. So like for me, even it's like, oh, well, I'm not really doing anything. Like we're still going to go have a good time.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I want to give a shout out to Tyler and Ashley just before we go any further. So Tyler is my ambassador manager for How to Barbecue Right, but he's more than that to me. He's a friend. He's a somebody I can really rely on, somebody that I bug a lot, and he's completely okay with it, and he's great. And Ashley is his wife, and they knew that we were bringing up the kids. They knew you were going to be there. And they also knew that you unfortunately couldn't be a part of what I was doing. So they took it upon themselves to invite you guys out to the Memphis Zoo. You guys spent 5-6 hours together at the Memphis Zoo, 4-6 hours, whatever, and just had a really great time. And I know that you expressed how much fun you guys had. The kids were super ecstatic when they got back to the hotel, and that just means so much to us, right? So shout out to Tyler and Ashley. Thank you guys for showing us some just an incredible time. And, of course, thank you to How to Barbecue Right as well, just for everything, an incredible weekend. But we'll talk a little bit more about the Smokehouse Social. I just wanted to throw that out there real quick.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Ashley was awesome. Those little boys were awesome. The zoo was awesome. So we really had a good time. So, yeah, part of the Smokehouse Social on Friday, right? That's when it started?
Yes.
Yes. So on Friday evening, everybody's getting to the hotel. And so what were the events for Friday evening?
So Friday evening, we got shuttled from the hotel directly to the How to Barbecue Right office, headquarters. I call it the headquarters. And we had a really cool time. We had some Gus's fried chicken. And then we had a little presentation by Craig from Royal Oak. We are a Royal Oak ambassador, so it was really cool to meet him in person. And he kind of just got up there and talked a little bit about Royal Oak and how they choose ambassadors, what they look for, stuff like that. It was just a really, really cool thing. Gus's fried chicken is really good. By the way, I really like it. So was just excited for, being able to be there and hang out with everybody and all that stuff. So it was just a lot of fun. And then we had Meet Dave BBQ go up and do stand-up comedy, and he killed it. He was great. Yeah. I thought he was so funny.
So this is a barbecue guy?
So he's a comedian that also likes to barbecue.
Gotcha. Okay.
But he does travel a lot, and he does barbecue. He's also a water polo assistant coach. So he had all these things in his, in his jokes. And man, he was really, really, really just great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was a fun time. So it was more of a let's hang out, let's do a few things together, and let's enjoy some time. And that's really all that Friday was. We got to talk to everybody. Say hi to Malcolm and Rochelle. Meet everybody else that I hadn't met before, talk to the people that I've already met before, and it was just a really, really fun time. So Friday, we got back to the hotel around, I don't know, what was it, like 10 p.m., something like that. So really, really cool, fun night. Again, shout out to everybody for making it just incredible.
Yeah, and then so moving on to Saturday. Saturday was a big barbecue crawl. So, Malcolm and the team, they kind of took you guys out to some of the different places in Memphis. So Memphis is only about 30 minutes away from South Haven. So really not far of a drive to get to Memphis, Tennessee. So one of the first places you guys went was Rendezvous, I believe. So what were the things that you guys tried at Rendezvous?
So the way they had it set up was really cool. We went to these different spots and we had different things to eat. So Rendezvous was coleslaw and ribs. So Rendezvous is apparently famous for charcoal ribs. Okay. So they grill them over charcoal. They have a little bit of a different texture, and they're not just smoked really, really soft, sticky ribs or anything like that. So it was a little bit of a different style of rib. And, I talked to you about this, and I've talked to a few people about this, and I'm not usually one to, I don't even want to say, talk bad, but, yeah, I guess, man, I didn't like them at all. Yeah. I was not a fan of the barbecue ribs from there at all. And I genuinely was just what, I don't know. I mean, there's really not much else to say. I wasn't a fan. And, I just wasn't a fan of Rendezvous.
Yeah, it's funny. Ashley and I were kind of talking about this while we were at the zoo. Because she said when they had visited Texas, they tried some barbecue spots. And she even said, like, Texas barbecue is just on a whole nother level of barbecue. Like, it's different than the barbecue that you're going to find in that area.
Yeah. So I can't say that yet because I've yet to try like Kansas City right? And I really want to try Slaps barbecue.
Yeah.
Like I almost guarantee you Slaps hits. Right. There's no way Joe Pierce doesn't hit like all the marks when it comes to barbecue, but I could be wrong. Hopefully I'm not wrong, but I really want to go to Slaps barbecue and I want to eat that barbecue for sure. But I will say that I was not a fan. Unfortunately, I wasn't a fan. And yeah, I mean, it just is what it is. There's really not too much to say about it, I guess. But that's just the way I personally felt. It's a pretty famous area, pretty famous place. So, man, you guys go try it out if y'all want to, for sure.
And so the next place was the barbecue shop?
Yeah, which was the best one in my opinion, by a pretty large margin. And the reason I say that is because they had a pulled pork sandwich. The pork was pretty flavorful. The sauce was pretty nice and vinegary, which I do like. And then they had barbecue spaghetti, which was okay. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't the best thing I've ever had. But overall, I would say that was the best experience that I had personally and the barbecue that I liked the best. But like I said, the way Tyler set it up is we had the ribs and coleslaw at the first spot. We had pulled pork sandwiches and barbecue spaghetti at the second spot. And then at the third spot, which was Central Barbecue, we actually had bologna, wings. I think bologna, wings. Oh, and barbecue nachos.
Oh, okay.
So overall, just wasn't huge on the bologna. The wings were pretty decent. Like I said, I don't really like to sit here and talk mess, but I also will say that I feel like I owe it to anybody that watches us to just be real. And I didn't love anything that we had. I didn't love anything that we had, but the best thing that I would say that we had was the pulled pork sandwich. And yeah, that's the way I felt about it. But, honestly, it's a give and take type thing, right? Because I just had such a good time with everybody. I hung out with Austin. I hung out with Jacob. I hung out with Tyler the whole time. And it was just we just had so much fun. It's okay that the food wasn't great. I had great people at the table with me.
Yeah, I feel like the barbecue spaghetti is a very common thing over there. Surprisingly, the barbecue nachos is more common over there than it is here in South Texas. Like South Texas, it's if anything, you're getting like chips and queso with your barbecue, or you're getting like tacos or something. Barbecue nacho, because I believe the way that they do it over there is it's more of like drizzled with barbecue sauce. It's got pulled pork, things like that, right? Yeah. So that's not really as common in our area.
Yeah.
But I do feel like it's common over there because even the place that we tried a while back when we were up there had the spaghetti, the barbecue nachos, right? Like those are common for over there. And pork, of course, is like the bread and butter over there.
Yeah.
So pulled pork and ribs. And I feel like Memphis also, I feel like they prioritize wings as well.
Yeah.
I just don't think you're going to get, you're not going to get Texas-style brisket over there. But yeah, I would be really interested to go because I feel like Memphis is supposed to be one of the bigger spots in barbecue.
Sure.
When you think about barbecue. So yeah, I'd be interested to taste Kansas City barbecue for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like in general, Texas barbecue is, and I'm not saying, it's better. Do I prefer it? Yeah, but I'm not saying it's better or the best. I'm saying it's completely different than the barbecue we've experienced out of state.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, I agree with that. But, to kind of wrap up the trip, had a really, really good time with HowToBBQRight and the whole team. It was just an incredible trip. We had a 12-hour drive back home. We killed it in one day, and it was actually not that bad at all.
It really wasn't.
So
no.
we just spent a lot of quality time as a family in the car, hanging out, doing our thing, and, man, blessed that we got back safely, grateful we got back safely. And the next trip will be the Royal Oak Invitational. So that's coming up in a couple of weeks, and we'll do it all over again. But just always grateful that, the HowToBBQRight team shows so much love. So thank you to you guys. Not sure if anyone is listening to this episode, but I really do appreciate it. Sabrina appreciates it. And, yeah, we're just grateful to be a part of the team, and we're going to be as long as you guys allow us to be.
Yeah, can't wait to go back.
For sure, 100%.
Sure. Yeah, and so coming back, like you said, we got back on Sunday evening. Monday was kind of a little bit of a rest day for us. We didn't get to put out a video, but we did film some shorts on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Now, our dinner on Tuesday
was probably the best dinner we've had in like 6 years.
Oh my gosh, it was.
Maybe not.
I always say that, but like, there's so many things that we make that are truly so good. But when you have them all on one day, it's like,
dude,
something else.
So first things first, we did a turkey breast, and we did an oven roasted turkey breast this time, which I don't expect to do numbers necessarily because it's oven roasted, but I will say we've had a lot of people ask, man, can I do this in an oven? What if I don't have a smoker? So we decided, hey, let's do one of these for people that maybe don't have a smoker, don't have an oven, and we can just offer that, you know? So this will be the only time we ever do an oven roasted turkey. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, but we did want to do that, right? We did feel it was important to try and hit every single market, people that don't have, or maybe unfortunately they can't afford a smoker at the time. And so we made an oven roasted turkey breast that was so good and so easy. If you haven't tried it in a smoked version or in an oven roasted version, you need to. Get yourself a thermometer that you could put into the turkey breast and just leave it alone.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I do want to mention now here on the podcast is we are actually now affiliated with ThermoPro, and they actually make the leave-in thermometer. They make the leave-in probe thermometers, like the ones that have the actual wire. And they also have something that is an instant read thermometer. It's called the Lightning. Now, I talked about this a little bit, I believe, recently, but I want to go into detail just for a few seconds on this because I will tell you guys this much. We have had these products for like 3 months now, and we were testing them pretty hard because I refuse to use a product and show you guys a product that I don't truly believe in, and I mean that sincerely. Now, we have tried these products, and they have worked for us very, very well. The temp spike is, like, incredible. It really, truly is. It has the 4 probes, hooks up to the Wi-Fi, so no issues with the Bluetooth. I have the application on my phone. It's really, really easy to see. It's color coordinated. I can see ambient temperatures. I can see internal temperatures. It gives me a roundabout guess on how long the cook is going to take based off of the temperature that I set for internal temps. So just know we're going to start using these products. We're going to start talking about them a little bit more in our content. It is not done without us doing extensive research and finding out if these are good products. So we really do think that ThermoPro is a great product. So get something like that, right? If you guys want, we'll leave a link in the description for our specific deal. If you buy the Temp Spike Pro with the 1 probe, you get a free Lightning. $119, it's a really great deal. So we'll put a link in the description. If you guys are interested in that, check it out. It obviously will support the channel. But just put in a leave-in thermometer and just let it get to 150. Take it out, wrap it in butter. I promise you it is going to be cooked perfectly, and it is going to hit because turkey is so delicious. You can do so many things with it, but we really felt like we needed to do an oven-roasted turkey, so we did it, one and done. Hopefully the video does well. I haven't looked at the numbers yet. I don't expect it to do the numbers that we sometimes will get with our other videos, but it just is what it is. We felt like it was important to do. But after the oven roasted turkey breast, we made something else that we have never actually made before. We've eaten it, but we've never made. Number 1, tell everybody what it was. Number 2, how did you like it?
Right. So real quick on the turkey, I will say just because it was oven roasted did not mean it was not as good as a smoked turkey breast.
Fire.
The only thing it was missing, obviously, is
Smoke
a little
flavor.
bit of the smoke flavor, but it was a very, very good turkey breast. Easy to do in the oven, especially with that internal probe. Now, this thing that we made, and I will admit, because the times that we've had it, I actually haven't even tried it.
Yeah.
So we recently went to GW's who serves this, and everybody loved it there, but I actually didn't get a chance to try it.
Yeah, we ate them too fast. I'm sorry about that.
No, the reality is it didn't really seem like something that I would like. So I was kind of just like, I don't feel like I'm missing out, right? So we got lamb chops. Well, it was like the lamb roast.
It was lamb racks.
Lamb racks, sorry. And then you can cut them into the chops, right? So these lamb racks, we got them.
They're like little lollipops. They're like the size of a silver coin almost.
Yeah. They're really not that big. But it comes in a little rack. Now we cooked these indirect until they reached around 130, 135.
No, I cooked them indirect until around 120.
120, there you go.
Yeah, and then I pulled them direct, and I seared them until they reached 135.
Right, and then you let them rest to get that medium rare, because with these, you really do cook it like a steak. You want it to be a little more medium rare. So for internal temps, when it's done around 145, so we let it kind of carry over cook like we usually do, wrapped in foil. Now, on their own, we seasoned them with Southern Belle.
Fire.
They were so good.
Fire.
It really did taste like a steak.
Yes.
But something about the texture
Softer.
on those, they're softer. They're super soft.
Yeah.
But we kind of took it another level.
Yeah.
And what did we make to go along with it?
Yeah, so Al Fragoni has the chimichurri that you can get in a bottle. I have nothing else to say besides that is the best chimichurri that you can make at the house, and it's easy.
Right.
It's so good. You can 100%, make your own recipe. I'm sure it's incredible. I'm not saying that it's not. I'm sure we can make one over time, but this is truly, from the bottom of my heart, it is incredible. You rehydrate all of the spices and the ingredients in there with vinegar, and then once it's rehydrated, you add oil. You can add like olive oil, mix it together, and it just has such a great flavor. So we use red wine vinegar, 1 part of the actual chimichurri to 1 part of red wine vinegar. I mix it for around 30 minutes until where you basically see no more red wine vinegar, and then you add 1 part of oil. When we use olive oil. Nope, I've been using 1. Yeah,
I thought it says 2 parts on there.
It says that, but I've been using 1.
Oh, okay.
It says that, but I've been using 1. So I go 1, 1, 1.
Yeah.
So the last 3 times we've made it, because if you remember the first time we did it at Dad's, it was a little oily.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been going 1, 1, 1, and it comes out perfect in my opinion.
Right.
So we used the spicy version yesterday,
it's
which
really good.
is so good. So Al Fragoni, shout out to Al Fragoni. We're actually going to be heading out to, well, here's another event that I'll be doing by myself without Sabrina, but the kids will be really near. But the Open Fire meetup is going to be this year in November, and I'll be out there hanging out, doing some stuff. Shout out to Al for, reaching out and having me come out as a guest and hanging out and stuff like that. But either way, with or without him doing that, this chimichurri is incredible. If you don't like spicy, just use the regular one. It is equally as incredible, just obviously a little less spice. But kind of to talk about what Sabrina was saying. So these took us 15 minutes to make. I don't know. 50 is stupid quick. Southern Belle all over. We let that Southern Belle soak in for 30, 45 minutes for a while. Pulled out some moisture. That salt got in there. And, man, they were just incredible. They really were so good. It tasted like a steak, but kind of like we were talking about. So soft. And I promise you we will do those again very, very soon. They are that good.
Yeah, I mean, even the kids were trying them, which knowing what it was, because, I mean, they hear us talking about what the product is when we're making it. And they even tried it, and they loved it.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And they've got, like, this little, like a very thin fat cap on it that's, like, really good to eat.
Oh, 100%. So everything about those lamb racks, then when you cut them, those little lollipops, is just truly incredible. If you guys haven't tried it, you got to try it. That short form video just released, will that be yesterday? If they're listening Friday, Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that short form video released yesterday. And, yeah, man, it's just something that you really, really got to try. It's so good that Sabrina and I'm like, we need to do that for our long form video this week. Because it is simple, and even in, like on the videos, on the short form videos you can see, but we can kind of go into a little more detail when it comes to doing it on long form. So we are heavily considering that just because it was that good, and I truly feel like we need to share this, right? I'm sure a lot of you guys know, but maybe you don't know how easy it is. Maybe you don't know how good the chimichurri is. I don't know. I kind of want to eat it again, and we need to shoot a video, so maybe we'll see.
Yeah.
Also, we did make some outside skirt steak, didn't film it, and then Son grilled the steak, didn't film it. But, man, it was just a really, really good dinner. Again, spending time, being outside, grilling, and just overall amazing, for sure.
Yeah, and I think that pretty much sums it up for this podcast.
Yeah, I think maybe a little bit shorter than we are used to doing, but we wanted to have heavy focus on the trip to see How to Barbecue Right, hang out with them, appreciate everything that they've done for us, talk about some of the recipes, and then also just let you guys know that we're going to be pounding the content here coming out, and we have we're gonna do only one competition a month for a very, very, very long time, and we made the decision that next year we're gonna really try to go to the American Royal. Like it's in the books for us to go to the American Royal next year and try and get a good video there. And man, we look forward to doing those things, but we have this business to grow, and we want to keep making good videos. And I also just am we're laser focused right now. Before we end this, I want to give a quick shout out to Bad Dog Barbecue. Kyle Sadler, really good friend of mine. He listens to the podcast. I had a really good conversation with him yesterday, and I also wanted to just talk about what he did this past weekend in Jonesboro, I hope I'm saying that right, Arkansas. Kyle went to a KCBS event. He had 3 180s, and he tied for the second highest score in KCBS history, which is an incredible accomplishment. Very, very happy for Kyle. Very proud of Kyle. He is one of our ambassadors, and he is a true Gulf Coast Smoke ambassador. Just loves what we're doing, supports what we're doing to the fullest, and just a really, really overall great guy. I'm happy for him from the bottom of my heart, and I hope that he continues to tear it up because he uses our products, and hopefully the whole world finds out. So that's a little bit selfish of me, obviously, but Kyle, very, very proud of you, very happy for you. And I haven't even told Sabrina this, but next Tuesday we will be filming an episode with Kyle.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
Yeah, so
I feel like that's such a big KCBS has been around for a very long time, so that is a huge accomplishment.
100%. Just there's nothing else to say. The proof is in the pudding. He is going to be in the record books for a very long time for that high of a score. 3 180s, that means he had a perfect score. Taste, texture, and appearance. Just something that's unheard of. Yeah. Right? So congratulations, Kyle. Bad Dog Barbecue. Go follow him on social media. Look out for what he's doing. And, man, keep going. Right? Keep going, keep going, keep going. So if you don't have anything else, Sabrina, I think I'm all good. Last thing I wanted to do was talk about Kyle, congratulate him. Actually, shout out Cesar Mejia. He also GC'd this past weekend. We can't forget about Cesar. Caesar's going to be going to the American Royal here this next month or so. And we're excited to see how good he does. But if that's all that you have, I think that's all I have.
Yeah, so, that's all I have.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel and you're watching us on YouTube right now, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're getting closer and closer to 100,000 subscribers every single time we do this episode. So we appreciate the support. We are very, very happy to see the growth, and we really want 100,000 subscribers. I think we can get there, and you can help us. If you guys are listening on Apple, Spotify, or any other platform that shares podcasts, man, share this with a friend. Maybe they like hearing us talk about our barbecue journey, products, people doing well, I don't know, our kids, whatever. I don't have anything motivational to say today besides get out there, chase your dreams, and live life to the fullest.
Even if your internet's out.
Even if your internet's out. Even if you can't watch Black Clover. Even if your life feels like it's crumbling apart because you got no internet. We love you guys. We will see you on the next episode. Peace.